Hi, it's Nick on the 23rd of June with another thought on the idea of building a business around your calling. So in some ways I think today is really at the heart of what I've come to believe, and it's taken me a while to believe this, but here's the thing, almost to use the kind of words of being a spiritually intelligent entrepreneur, there's almost, I think for many people, like a disconnect there, or a conflict potentially straight away, because the idea of being entrepreneurial, the idea of running a business, in law actually, if you look at law, the idea of running a business is to make a profit. It is the responsibility of a business to make profit. That's why it exists. And then you think, well, what does it mean to be spiritually intelligent? And here's the way I've come to think of it. That in a way we have two job descriptions. We have, an earthly job description, and we have a spiritual job description. So, if I look at my earthly job description, I'm a writer and a speaker and a coach and a mentor and a broadcaster and an entrepreneur and a business owner and a leader, a thought leader. They're all aspects of my earthly job description, if you like. But I'm also a student of A Course in Miracles, and if you know A Course in Miracles, it's a book about, the way I describe it is a book about undoing fear and guilt and returning to love. That's what A Course in Miracles is all about. So I believe that from a spiritual perspective, my job description and all of our job descriptions is the same. It is to inject more love and more inspiration and more creativity into this world. So our spiritual job description is quite simple: to make this world a more loving place, to inject more love and inspiration and creativity into it. And we can do that through any worldly job description. So here's the heart of it for me. It's like whatever our earthly job description might be, so whether we're a parent, a business owner, a leader, a teacher, a coach, a hairdresser, a massage therapist, whatever it says on our business card, we have a spiritual business card that says, I'm here to inject more love into the world. I'm here to the best of my ability to be the presence of love in the world in any moment. But then you kind of go, but how's that ever going to make a profit? Here's my experience is, the more that I'm able to clean up my own act, if you like, the more that I'm able to heal my own fearful thoughts, my own unloving thoughts, which I have many of. My journey over the last 30 years has been learning to let go of more of my fear, let go of more of my judgments, so that I can be an increasing presence of love in the world. And paradoxically then, I think I become better at being an entrepreneur. I become better at being a leader. So it is this idea that the more love we can inject into the world, the more inspiration we can inject into the world, the more creativity we can allow to exist in the world, actually the more commercially successful we will potentially be. But the paradox is that we're successful not because we set out to make money, if you like, but we set out to inject more good things into the world, and as a result of that, people are drawn to us, they're inspired, they're uplifted, and they'll pay us. But it's looking at these two levels. There's what's going on the surface worldly level, and then there's what's going on this deeper level. So I'm not sure that I'm explaining this 100% as clear as I'd like to, but I hope you're getting the gist, that the more we're able to carry out our spiritual job description, paradoxically, the more likely we are to be commercially successful in the world. But it's a byproduct rather than an end result, if that makes sense. So that's what I mean by being a spiritually intelligent entrepreneur. It's recognizing our spiritual job description. And the more that we do recognize that, I do believe that in each moment, literally in each moment when we're available to it, we can be guided, we can be led by inspiration, we can be led by intuition, that we're not on our own. So it's not like we've got to sit here and go, how the heck do I be the presence of love here? I believe there's a greater intelligence of some kind, whatever name you want to give that is with us all the time, that's kind of guiding us on how to be the presence of love in any situation, in any moment, what it is that we can bring that would make the difference. So yeah, I believe there's there's a kind of GPS, if you like, a universal GPS that's guiding us in each moment. And as we tune into it, as we tune into that wavelength, I suppose another way I'd say is the wavelength of love is always being transmitted. Our job is to tune into it. and see what it's guiding us to do and what it's asking us to do. So that's a challenge for many of us, because we're so busy doing whatever we do that we don't even recognize there's another frequency to tune into. And sometimes when we hear what it wants us to, or is inviting us to do, we kind of go, I could never do that, that's too big, that's too scary, no way. So, you know, it's a journey for us in any moment to listen to that frequency that's being broadcast, tune into it, and kind of show up with what it's inviting us to do. But just to wrap this up, you know, my experience is the more I can show up in my genuine inspiration, the more that I can show up in my genuine creativity, the more I can show up as the presence of love in any moment, actually things flow better. And that includes business success as well. But the paradox again is, you know, the success is a byproduct of showing up and being more of who we truly are. So that's what I mean by being a spiritually intelligent entrepreneur, putting love first, putting creativity first, and being willing and open to be successful doing that. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. God bless. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.